welcome to the Narrowboat at James Bill. Hope you're very well, thanks for joining me. Well, my plan, I'm back from London for about 5 hours today, and I've got, in that time, I need to put another coat of paint down on this, which is going to be the first layer of undercoat. I just want to go around with the mouse sander with some 240 grit and just take off some of the nicks, some of the bits of rust that haven't, obviously now the paint's gone on it, I can see it clearer. So just going to go and improve the surface and put down some of this paint. But I've got myself a visitor coming over in a minute. NarrowboatWill has just moored up over there, and I think he's on his way over to say hello. So I better get the boat a bit shipshape and pretend I live in some kind of regular order as opposed to in the actual way I do. Catch you in a minute.
It's a lovely day, lovely spot. I'm going to let him get on and do his, someone watch the vlog later. So wait, look at your vlog for me, is it every day?
I try to do it every day, yeah, but Easter holidays and all is not so easy at the minute.
Yeah. Right, buddy, I'll let you get on, mate.
Cheers, Geezer, you too.
Nice to meet you.
You too, mate, you too.
Lovely to have met you, mate.
You too, pal. Look after yourself.
And you, buddy.
Okay, so that's how the solar panels are going to have to go on this little section here, which I think works out all right. Those brackets sit on those sides quite flush. Obviously, if I had them in the middle, then it's obviously not going to work at all because of the ridge there. But having two on the sides here is okay. And that means I can run the cables through this mushroom vent here. So take the top of that off, run the cables through there, under the ceiling, into the electrics. So that's quite nice and tidy and clean. But really I just wanted to make sure they fitted on and that they will be able to pivot okay and not get in the way of that bar. So that looks all right. Okay, now it's time just to clean the area down and put on some of this grey Craftsmaster as the undercoat. Really, the only place I want to do is obviously under here, but I'm going to do all of this. I've sanded down these areas, but I think maybe just, well, I'm hoping that after 1 or 2 coats of undercoat, that's going to start to make it look a bit better. I'll get rid of all this now, clean up the roof and then paint it again. The way you're meant to clean this is with acetone, but I'm using baby wipes. But they, despite the disposable nature of it, they work really well. So I've spent many hours since I've been here looking at the guys in the paint shop and how they apply the paint, and even though these are just base coats, basically they should all be done in the same way, so that the top coats then really basically have the best chance of looking as good as they can in terms of going on and the finished product. So I thought I'd just show you what I've been shown, and obviously everyone will have their own opinion on how to do this, but you take little section by little section, because this stuff dries fairly quickly. Given the fact you've got to do it in certain conditions, it does end up drying fairly quickly. So doing it in small amounts makes it much easier to work. But first off, I put it on with a roller in quite, well, not liberally, but make sure it's got a decent coat, and then just go on with a brush afterwards and just single stroke straight up, and all you're doing is you're just evening out the roller strokes. But I can see the difference it makes as it's going on. Just keep the lines like that. And it gives a really nice finish. And then the idea is going to be, obviously here on the ridge where the two ends have met, there's a little bit of crossover there. So once this is dried, I'm going to go over with some wet and dry paper and basically just give it a quick sand down, and then I'll go over it again with another coat of this, and then it will start to go on the top coats. So 2 coats of undercoat, 3 top coats, certainly in this area. In this area here, I think I might have to do more undercoats, but just where the solar panels are going to be, I'm just going to get away with 2 undercoats and 1 red oxide and 3 top coats. That should work fine, and then kind of a gentle sand in between them all. But yeah, that's gone on well. Happy with that. Here are the solar panel brackets I'm going to use. I've got 5 here. I think I've sent 8. One's got a bit of a bend to it, but I'm going to, whilst I'm back in London, I'm going to take some downtime when the kids are asleep, basically, to clean these up, which is a job I need to do. So might as well get that done. And whilst I'm doing that, talking about jobs to do, here's the piece of timber which was sent to me. This is spalted oak. The spalted part is this bit here, this black kind of detail in some of the grain. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. The problem is this piece of oak is rotten. You'll see that, I mean, look, I can just tear chunks straight off that. Not in that particular part. There you go. It's really rotten through. It's got woodworm, so hence the fact it's nowhere near the boat. So many telltale signs of woodworm there. And obviously woodworm is highly contagious, and it will jump onto any other timber, even the crap stuff like ply. So I can't have it anywhere near the boat. But I'm hoping rather, that inside this lies enough nice looking timber to make a ledge, which was the intention of the person who sent it to me, to go from the floor up, you know, where the step is, going onto the bow observation deck. But this is a really nice side, and yeah, there's a lot of woodworm on the perimeter areas around here, but in the middle looks pretty good. It doesn't look too far gone. Anyway, the piece I need is basically the width of this. So this isn't going to work because a lot of this has to be trimmed away. But I'm thinking about making, basically cutting it in half using a mould and making what they call a river table using coloured resin. So basically you cut this into a shape, put it into a mould. Obviously the mould will be the same shape as the platform I need it to be, and then fill it with a coloured mould or a clear coloured resin or a clear resin or whatever, and that will make a kind of an interesting feature. Because it's resin and it will be covered all the way around, if there is a little bit of woodworm in there, it might contain it, but I don't really know until I give it a go. But it's something I've wanted to do, make a river table. They're quite fun. Well, they look quite fun. And a mould is the easy way to go. So I'm just going to get like a plastic tray to use it, and then I can discard that afterwards. And then you could put LEDs into the resin, so you can colour the resin and that therefore colour the whole board. But that might be a bit of fun. But yeah, I think that's the plan for this little piece. Right, I'm off back to London again. Give this a couple of days to dry, hopefully it won't rain. Catch you guys later.